Hello, welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Duncan DeAeth, and it's great to have you with us. Volunteers in Malaysia help clean up and repair the homes of 2 disadvantaged care recipient families. A volunteer in Malacca, Malaysia spreads love and compassion despite battling her own serious illness. Tzu Chi volunteers in Taiwan host events for the Double Nine Festival to bring some joy to seniors. Recently, Tzu Chi's Malaysia Butterworth branch helped out 2 families in Ujong Batu village who were in need of home repairs. For 3 days, from September 16th to 18th, volunteers cleaned the homes and repaired bathrooms. The actions moved an elderly woman, Ushabai, to become a Tzu Chi volunteer. Her grandchild was also inspired by the volunteers to help another care recipient's family.
Wood and sheet metal are the most common building materials for poor families. However, after many years of sun and rain, there's inevitable wear and tear. The conditions were so bad that one Indian woman, Usabai, that she only dares to use the toilet at night.
In the morning, I don't dare to use the toilet because there is a hole and I can be seen by other people.
Malaysia's Tzu Chi Butterworth branch invited a carpenter to come and make repairs with other volunteers helping clean up the waste. Repairs were made to the bathroom, the living room, ceiling, and other windows to prevent the rain from coming in.
I am very happy as many of my worries are solved. What do I want to do next year? I want to join Tzu Chi to help other people that are poorer than myself.
Others have also been inspired into action, such as Usabai's grandson, Rebeswaran, who left his grandmother's house with Tzu Chi volunteers and traveled to another care recipient's place to help with cleaning. After finding some money, he refused to accept it and deposited it directly into a Tzu Chi coin bank.
I'm very happy to help these elder uncles. I think that helping others is a good thing.
Kalia Papan and his mildly mentally challenged son, Manimaran, have a habit of hoarding many miscellaneous items. Their failure to clean and sort such things turns their bedroom and toilet into a dingy living environment with many bad smells along with mice and cockroaches. After 3 days of cleaning and repairs, with 3 trucks of garbage along with new flooring installed, the house was able to receive new furniture. Tzu Chi volunteers also took the opportunity to educate both father and son to keep the house clean. While their living place is small, after finishing the work, they finally have a place to stand as well as sit, which has improved their mood. The care and attention that Tzu Chi is paying to this community of Ujong Batu is gradually spreading and inspiring others.
Team of Malaysia held a 2-day free clinic in Myanmar recently. The medical team was comprised of 38 people, including 12 physicians, along with nurses and pharmacists. The site of the clinic was a hall borrowed from a temple. While surgeons had difficulty in the environment, they were committed to providing care to those in need. Over 2 days, some 1,300 people were served at the clinic.
A tumor behind Usan Thane's right ear has been there for over 3 decades. Today, he finally had it removed.
I went to the hospital for a check and had originally planned to have an operation, but many people told me not to have the surgery. One person told me of the possible harm I would encounter, so I didn't dare have the operation. This is why it has dragged on until now.
Usan Thane is apprehensive as he lies on this table with simple operating equipment, as this team of Malaysia physician uses a scalpel to remove the tumor.
This is the fat, and if it stays under the skin for a long time, it's quite easy to cut out. There's just a lack of medical equipment, and I worry about complications such as bacterial infections and inflammations, which are just general problems.
Physicians' concern arise out of the fact that the site of the clinic is a hall borrowed from a temple. Volunteers arrived 2 days in advance to lay out the venue with a pediatrician creatively using recycled bottles and cups to treat those with asthma.
In areas with rather scarce resources, we need to be more creative about how to administer medication to children. This can be up to the face, and then you press down on the medicine and slowly breathe the drug into the lungs.
Since many people in Myanmar do not understand Chinese and English, many local doctors have also been recruited as translators.
From my own private clinic, I can see 20 to 30 people a day. Not so many patients come to see me, as I believe that we need to do more because many people need our help.
Most of the population in the rural area are very poor, so I think it's a free clinic, so a lot of people have the very benefit for their health.
This two-day free clinic serviced farmers in Daiji Township. On the second day, the medical team traveled to Tanlin to visit a monastery treating many novice Buddhist nuns and other nearby residents who suffered from illness.
12-year-old Yang Yu from Jiangxi, China, was born with a rare congenital hindbrain abnormality known as a Chiari malformation. Her condition has made her unable to walk or go to school. After a referral by local Tzu Chi volunteers, Yang Yu was transferred to the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital in September, where a variety of medical departments could provide the best care to help fulfill her dream of one day going to school.
Holding up a written sign saying, "I want to go to school," Yang Yu from Jiangxi, China, suffers from Arnold Chiari malformation, which caused a deformation of her spine and affected her ability to walk. Coming into contact with Tzu Chi in April of this year, Yang Yu was brought to the Suzhou Health Screening Center and transferred to the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital in September.
I hope that she'll walk one day. When she's grown, I'll be older and won't be able to help her much then. Now I'm still young, I can help carry her, but when I'm older, I'll be unable to help out, even if I want to.
The Chiari malformation is a malformation of the connection between the skull and the spine, which can cause hydrocephalus or spinal cord-related fluid retention. Initial symptoms can include head and neck pain, muscle weakness, or loss of bladder control.
Normally, children who are affected by this disease should receive corrective surgery at 1 or 2, but she's already 12 now. She has trouble walking because her joints protrude. She will need corrective orthopedic treatment later.
After a discussion with the neurology, neurosurgical, orthopedic, and reconstructive surgery departments, a plan is made and carried out. Yang Yu received surgery to decrease brain pressures, and a fluid-filled cyst in her spine was also removed.
Around her pelvis, she has a spinal cord deformity where a cyst has formed, which causes her to lose control of her bladder and causes numbness in her legs. We need to fix the protruding part and restore her spinal nerves so that it's not affected anymore.
After the surgery, the girl's rehabilitation process will be long. Her deformed right leg also needs medical attention from the orthopedic team. With the help of the comprehensive team here in Hualien, it is hoped in the days ahead, Yang Yu will be able to stand and walk on her own 2 feet.
From January of last year, the Tzu Chi Thailand chapter began hosting community medical services on the 4th Sunday of every month at the Bangkok Jingsi Hall. At the latest outreach on September 25th, 10 medical staff and volunteers came from Phitsanulok to support the event.
The free clinic has just begun, but there are already lines of people waiting to register. 10 medical professionals and volunteers came from Phitsanulok to support the cause in Bangkok.
I am a nurse and I often serve patients in the hospital. I don't have much chance to volunteer in the past, but I like doing it today. I want to come again.
Phitsanulok is 5 hours away by car from Bangkok, so the medical team had to leave at 2 in the morning. But the members all look spirited.
We hardly slept last night, but when we see so many people needing our help and the volunteers from Phitsanulok are still doing their best to help, I don't feel tired at all. I'm quite glad to help.
The monthly free clinic also brings everyone's love together. In addition to the assistance from some young students, the department store next to the Jingsi Hall has been supporting the cause with free desserts for patients for the past 3 months.
We bring bottled water, banana cakes, and milk to the patients. All these are the love from our new CEO and the employees of the department store, as we hope we have more chances to give back to society.
The masks cover their faces, but expressions in the eyes and conversations still allow the patients to sense the love from the medical professionals and volunteers.
In Malacca, Malaysia, a Tzu Chi volunteer, Sia Lo Ti, suffers from congenital cardiovascular disease, which forced her to undergo more than 10 operations. Despite her poor health, she continues to care for elderly people living alone by sending them meals and love. Let's look at this inspiring story.
Tzu Chi volunteer Sia Lo Ti, who comes from Malacca, Malaysia, cooks lunch 5 days a week for the elderly she has long cared for.
I can feel that the most important thing the seniors need is not money, but people's company.
他最好的，我有这一个师姐喊我呢，她很关心我，又拿来给我吃，这样我越吃越胖，越来越强壮。
Most of the seniors that Mrs. Sia has cared for have to live alone and suffer from multiple illnesses as they are aging. However, Mrs. Sia suffers from an illness as well. Mrs. Sia suffers from congenital cardiovascular disease, which is associated with small blood vessels, forcing her to undergo operations for more than 10 times. She feels uncomfortable after going up these 4 stories of stairs. Though she is in poor health, she always smiles in front of these seniors.
If I don't do good deeds right now, I don't know when I can help others in the future. I don't want to think about my illness. If I do so, then I will never live happily. After turning to the bright side of life instead of the darkness, Mrs. Sia believes being an optimist makes her life full of joy and love.
Ahead of the Double Nine Festival in Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteers have begun hosting events for seniors. In Wanhua, Taipei, more than 200 seniors were invited for a day of fun at the local Jingci Hall. Meanwhile, Tzu Chi volunteers in Jinmen celebrated with seniors at the Datong Nursing Home. A group of kindergartners also joined, lifting the spirits of all those present. This group of seniors receives a warm welcome upon arriving at the Jinmen Tzu Chi Liaison Office. Tzu Chi volunteers have invited a group of seniors from Datong Nursing Home to celebrate this Double Ninth Festival. For these seniors who are not usually surrounded by such youthful energy, this was a rare moment of joy. Watching the various performances put on by children, these grandmothers were all smiles.
他用家己的孙有唱不？
无差，他很会唱歌，会跳舞，很活泼的，这小孩子。
这就是咱的家人孙啊！
哎，那对了，
谢谢小朋友，谢谢小朋友。那我们跟阿妈拍拍手啊，拍手哈。
The key to longevity is happiness, and these kindergartners are showing their care and love for the elderly through action.
想请问一下，我们现在要去哪里？
Just before 8 a.m., volunteers make their way through the streets of Wanhua District as they have an important mission today.
嘿，小妹妹，今仔要带你来去九重阳，来活动，早起就好早就。
I woke up early this morning to do laundry. I didn't want to be late.
In celebration of the Double Ninth Festival, Tzu Chi volunteers organized a function for the elderly at the Wanhua Jingci Hall. More than 200 seniors were invited to join in on the fun.
It makes me so happy being here. The program you organized was great, so were the volunteers.
奶奶参加我们慈济的活动，你的感觉怎么样？
很好啊，我喜欢啊。
Volunteers organized entertainment, served tea, and also wrapped scarves around the seniors' necks, treating them as their own family.
In the beginning, we welcomed all our guests, and during the middle segment of our event, we served tea and snacks to the seniors. To have people organize such a day for them, I believe it'll make them happy.
I can tell from their gestures that they're having a great time and enjoying themselves. They sing and hum along to the songs. I think we achieved what we set out to do today.
Regardless of your age, joyfulness keeps the heart and face young, and the warmth brought by Tzu Chi volunteers that will make people young at heart. In Beijing, Tzu Chi volunteers regularly care for the elderly, making monthly visits to nursing homes and elderly people living in apartments. These visits not only cheer up the seniors, but are also enjoyed by the volunteers, who are able to share pleasant memories with these charming grandparents.
This part, the twins are cuter than the sign language song they are performing. It's also quite rare to see an elderly grandmother over the age of 100. In Beijing, Tzu Chi volunteers are showing their care for the elderly. After suffering from a car accident in Taiwan, Gao Junqing never forgot about the care and assistance from Tzu Chi volunteers. Here she is demonstrating the use of a special walker from Taiwan, instructing others about how to use it.
使用的助行器要送给这边敬老院的爷爷奶奶们。他说，爷爷奶奶们也可以拿着它练习走路。
Not only does this activity show care for the elderly, it also allows valuable interaction with the younger generation.
I used to accompany my grandparents as they made dumplings, and I would play with the dough next to them. But when they died, I was overseas and couldn't rush back to accompany them.
The kindness of these elderly people really moves these volunteers, as Wei Mei Xian hasn't participated in this visit for 3 months, though this elderly woman clutches her hand tightly.
She knew me at first glance, and I felt a special warmth emanating from the homes of these elderly.
Regular visits by volunteers have become an important part of the lives of these elderly, as volunteers do activities such as cut their nails, trim their hair, and fuss over their appearances. The treatment they receive is the same that is provided by their own children.
Tzu Chi has given me opportunities for many years to learn from fellow Tzu Chi sisters.
Bringing smiles and laughter to these elderly people not only helps enrich the life of these senior citizens, but also brings great joy to these volunteers as well.
October 9th marks the annual Double Nine Festival, a time for honoring the elderly in Taiwan. Tzu Chi volunteers held celebrations at Tzu Chi grounds in Banqiao and Guandu. Let's take a look.
At Tzu Chi Guandu grounds in Taipei, Zhenxin General Hospital holds a free clinic for the elderly.
As people age, their pulmonary functions will decrease, so they tend to have difficulty breathing. So we suggest that they do therapies or exercises to improve their lung functions, such as walking.
The elderly are happy to come here. It's like seeing old friends. And our medical team treats them like old friends too. I feel it's a good chance for them to come here, as they will be happy, and they will feel they can depend on us. This is good for them too.
At Tzu Chi Banqiao grounds, the Social Welfare Department of New Taipei City Government convey their best wishes to 102-year-old Wang Jinxi. Tzu Chi volunteers invite elderly people to have lunch there.
It's like a big family, so the borough head can bring the elderly to our complex and walk around.
When we treasure the elderly, the society will realize the elderly are not burdens, but treasures to all of us.
This year is the 4th year young volunteers at the Jingsi Books and Cafe performed sutra adaptations on stage. 2 young volunteers, grade 6 student Ying Yu and grade 2 student Yi Chen, want to promote vegetarianism and encourage more people to eat vegetarian every day.
Wang Yiyu stands tall among this group. She is also doing her best in this sutra adaptation. She is now a young volunteer at the Jingsi Books and Cafe, and is very caring because of the influence of one elder person.
One old woman wanted to see the master, but because she couldn't walk up the stairs, so her husband carried her on his back and walked each stair step by step. I hope I can help other people.
When I came home, she had done the laundry for me. She has also folded the cloth for me. She will share the work and help me get some rest.
Yingyu voluntarily does housework for her mother and wants her mother to get some rest. Yingyu hopes after she grows up, she can be like that elder man who is committed to helping people. Yi Zhen is only in grade 2, but she isn't shy about speaking in public. She is an MC at this sutra adaptation performance. Yi Zhen says she hopes one day she can go on promoting the benefits of vegetarianism like her mother.
My friends asked, if you don't eat meat, how can you grow muscles? I told them eating vegetables can also grow muscles. Exercise also helps build muscles.
She talked to her friends at school about how becoming a vegetarian also led her to grow strong and tall. These young volunteers are doing all they can to promote the benefits of vegetarianism so more people can join them.
In Malacca, Malaysia, during Tzu Chi volunteers' monthly visits to their care recipients' homes, parents and students of the parent and child classes also joined in on this most recent event. Seeing how others live, parents and children can both realize how truly fortunate they are.
Participants from 10 parent and child classes in Malacca have joined Tzu Chi volunteers on their visits to care recipients' homes.
I'm happy to see the children.
I'm also happy to see the grandma.
I want them to foster a love to care for others, a giving kind of love.
This young boy cautiously presents a gift to the care recipient lying in bed.
I want him to know that he's blessed. When he is grown, he can help others who need assistance. He will possess more love.
Sharing what they have seen and heard on this visit, these parents and children have realized their own blessings.
I'm quite glad for this activity. The children can learn from this how truly blessed they are in life.
Parents and children of the course have, through participating in this home visitation, learned how fortunate their lives really are.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Surrey, Canada, recently awarded 82 scholarships to help young people with their studies. They also invited students to join an extra activity during their summer break. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.